Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to talk about two palettes, and specifically I am going to compare and contrast the Modern Renaissance by Anastasia Beverly Hills and the e.l.f. Matte Format 2 palette. The reason why I'm filming this video is because yesterday I was just swatching these e.l.f. Matte Format shadows on my hand, and I was amazed how similar they are in the way they swatch, and I wanted to see if these palettes would perform the same on my eyes when used with brushes, and I created today a look that was made completely with two different palettes. So I've used only the Anastasia Beverly Hills one on this side of my face, literally on my eye, and I've used the e.l.f. palette on this eye. At the end of this video I will show you the application process, and you will see for yourself how they both applied. But I also realized that there are some colors that are very similar. Some of them are different, some of them are similar. Some colors you don't get in this palette that you get in this palette, and the other way around. But some of them are really similar, so I thought, okay, I'll do like a comparison thing for people who are considering buying this one, but it's kind of expensive, you know what I mean? I'm going to tell you guys the price difference, product difference, in terms of blendability, colors, and all that kind of stuff. And if you're interested, please keep on watching. So let's start with the boring stuff, and I'm gonna tell you about how much product you get in each palette. With the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, you get 14 pans. Two of them will be shimmery, while in this one, the e.l.f. Matte Format palette, you will get 10 eyeshadows, but all of them will be matte. There is a huge price difference between these two palettes. You pay £40 for this one, and you pay £12.50 for this one. Now, in terms of how much product you get, you wouldn't believe me, but this palette contains 14 grams of product, and this one contains only 9.8 grams, which is crazy because the size of this one, it's twice as big as this one, and you would possibly think that you would get more in this one, but no, you wouldn't get more. It's just the way it's packaged, really. So I've calculated, and in total you would pay £4.18 per gram for the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and you would pay 89 pence per gram for the e.l.f. Matte Format palette. So I'm gonna go now through the colors that I think that are similar, or at least a tiny bit similar, or they swatch a bit different, but when you blend them on the eye they will probably look similar. So the first color that is similar is obviously the beigey white color on the top. In the Anastasia Beverly Hills it's called Tempera, and it's the first color in the e.l.f. palette, and I'll show you how these swatch. Here are the two swatches. The first one is the e.l.f. one, and the second one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. There's a slight difference in tone. This one is whiter, this one is more similar to my skin tone, but the way they swatch, it's very the texture that they have is very similar. Now the next color that I thought you was similar in this palette is this third color from the e.l.f. palette. I just want to say NYX palette for some reason, and all the time it takes me a while to say e.l.f. palette. The first color on this palette would be kind of similar to the raw sienna color in this palette, so the first on the top. As you can see, they are very similar. This one is the one from the e.l.f. palette, and this one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. The next color that I thought you was quite similar, it's the fifth color in this palette, and this one is like a muddy purple, and I thought it was similar with this color called Antique Browns, and this one has more of a shimmery finish, satin shimmery finish. It's not a shimmer eyeshadow. Well, this one is completely matte, and I'll show you the swatches. They're a bit different but a bit similar at the same time. So this color is the one from the e.l.f. palette, and this is the Antique Bronze from the Anastasia palette. The next color that I thought it was a little bit similar, and I say a little bit similar because it's not as similar as other ones. It's this color that looks like a deep pink, but when you swatch it, it's more like a burgundy color, and I thought it was similar to the red ochre one. And I'll show you how they both swatch. This is how they swatch. The first one is the e.l.f. one, this one is the Anastasia one. They are a bit different, but when you look at the end of the swatch, you can see that they kind of end up looking the same when you swatch them. The next color that I thought you was similar, it's the burnt orange color in this palette, which is similar to the burnt orange color in this palette, which is this one. They have a tiny bit of a different undertone to them, but they are very similar, and I'll show you the swatch for them. So this is how they swatch. The first color, it's the e.l.f. color, and the second color, it's the color from the Anastasia palette. The last color that I thought you was similar, it's the dark brown color, and this is this color from the e.l.f. palette, and it's the Cypress Umber in this palette, and I'll show you how they swatch. This is how they swatch. The e.l.f. one is a bit lighter, the Anastasia one is a bit darker. I've used this color on my eyebrows today, and you can't really tell the difference between them. I think they look quite similar, and I think it's quite a good match for me. If it matches you, it's a big plus, but you can see for yourself that it's kind of similar. I'll show you all the swatches again, and I'll put the names next to them so that you can see and decide for yourself. So I know that a lot of colors that I have showed you are a bit different, but trust me, when you would put them on your eyes, they would kind of blend in the same way, and I did that today, and I literally can't tell the difference. Like, they look so similar. Yeah, it's crazy. They look so similar, and honestly, out of all the drugstore palettes that I have, this e.l.f. one is the most similar to the Anastasia one in terms of texture, in terms of how the eyeshadows apply and blend, in terms of pigmentation. The biggest difference in formula is that in the Anastasia palette, when you put your finger in the eyeshadow and you want to swatch it, the shadow feels very, very soft. While in the e.l.f. one, it doesn't feel as soft, but when you swatch them, they come out in the same way with the same pigmentation, and they blend the same way. And I can show you an actual swatch and you can see for yourself what I mean. So I'm using the burnt orange color, and I'm just gonna swatch them one next to the other. Can you see how they both apply the same with the same pigmentation? It's amazing. This one is the e.l.f. one, and this one is the Anastasia one, but honestly they do perform really, really similar. And I'm gonna try and blend them for you, and you're gonna see that they kind of blend at the same rate. I couldn't say that the e.l.f. one is less blendable than the Anastasia one. You can see here how they blend. Now, obviously in the e.l.f. palette you wouldn't get the two shimmery colors that here are Vermeer and Primavera, but obviously for this price you can buy yourself another palette with only shimmer shadows. The other difference is that in the e.l.f. palette you are not gonna get these burgundy shades, and if you are very attracted to them, by all means buy this palette. But you get some other really interesting colors. You get this really nice purple here, and you kind of have the opportunity to experiment. There's neutral and pops of colors in this palette. So overall I would say that the Anastasia palette, it's a wonderful palette, very good pigmentation, the way they feel, I think everybody just loves that they are very soft, and when you put your finger in them they're like, oh, they're very soft and nice, and it's worth the money you pay for it, it's worth the hype. The screen doesn't give this palette the justice. When you have it in person, it's 10 times nicer than you see on YouTube. On the other hand, this palette is very practical, I think. It's very good quality, and I definitely recommend this if you want some really nice smooth pigmented eyeshadows that are similar in texture and pigmentation with the Anastasia Modern Rennaisance palette. Definitely get this one. Even if you didn't want to try the Anastasia one, I think you should definitely try these. These are very, very, very good. Okay guys, now let's get into the demo and you'll see how these two palettes applied on my eyes. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this was helpful and I hope that you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel and I will see you soon. Bye!